edition of About Your House, where we bring you the most informative content out there that pertains to, you guessed it, your house. Today's no different. We have Kevin Gath of Garden Nomad in the house. He'll be talking about gardening himself, how he got to where he is today, and what you need to know and may want to know, and what you need to avoid. About Your House is brought to you in part by PutToolsInSchools.org, connecting students to tools of the trades and raising awareness of the many career pathways. About Your House is also brought to you in part by Queen City Home Store. Queen City Home Store is a family-owned store that's been serving the Carolinas for over 70 years. They're the largest independent appliance retailer in the Carolinas, constantly growing and taking pride in the experience they offer customers with a knowledgeable sales staff, product selection, and lowest price guarantee. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some time with us as we spread a little love. And now, here's your host, Ray Terry.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to another edition of About Your House, as Mr. Richton Cunningham said. And today's show, we're going to talk about dirt. Yeah, more dirt. Kevin Gath in the house. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Ray.
He's in the house. He was with me a few weeks back with Lorraine Carpenter, and I said, what the heck? Let's talk about, well, summer's here. Well, it's not here yet, but it will be soon. June 21st, around the corner, a couple weeks away. First day of summer's on the way, hot. It was hot last week, a few days. We need rain. We need rain bad.
Just got a bunch. Grateful for it. And there's more coming.
I don't know about the word bunch, but we got
it. Rained a lot at night.
Huh?
It rained a lot at night.
How many inches? Do you know how many inches we got?
I don't, but significant.
Yeah, they were calling for.
Not a decent amount. Not as much, it seems like, as they were calling for. But
I got to go check a big old spot in a ceiling today, or the next couple of days, because I waited for the rain.
That's your rain gauge.
Yeah. Well, actually, I got a moisture meter.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
Moisture meter will tell me if it's a rain leak or not, because I know sure as heck it wasn't wet from a rain leak last week. You know. Because we haven't had any rain, significant rain to speak of in, weeks?
Yeah.
And we need some rain bad. Yeah. We're going to talk about rain. What's your culprit? What's your biggest enemy? Water. We're going to talk today about many things, actually. It's as we approach the summer months, the hot months. We're going to talk a little bit about your heat, your air conditioning. We're going to talk a little bit about your backyard, your front yard, your scrubberies, your plants. It is that time of the year. But actually, fall is for planting. You know, everybody gets the spring fever. You know, they get that fever.
The world's waking up and they want to.
Yes, a little warm outside. I feel good. Let's go out and get our shovels and start digging. And you know, if preparation is key in growing things.
Yep.
You know, you just don't dig a hole, stick a plant in it. You know, there's some methodology to it. And now most, like I say, fall is actually for planting. It's the best time of the year to plant because everything's subsiding, the juices of the plant. You like that? The sap tends to rescind in the winter. I like juices better. It sounds eloquent.
In the fall, they have all fall to put out some roots. Then the winter, they can chill, and then in the spring, they put out roots too. So if you plant in the fall, you're basically good to go because they've got 2 full growing seasons.
If you don't plant them too deep and you don't do it,
as long as you do it properly, yeah.
You got to plant right. So a lot of people dig a big hole and make it too deep, and then it holds water, and then it root rots, and then you done messed up.
One thing about the hole, I like to make them square instead of a round hole.
Are you a square hole dude?
Square hole dude, yeah.
You look a little square hole.
Yep.
Why?
Well, if it's a round hole, then the roots will hit the edge and just circle around the edge. But if you dig a square hole,
circle root tree.
Yep. The square hole, the roots will hit the edge and go, and then when they hit the next side, they're straight on to and they go into the soil instead of circling around. Yeah.
Kevin, how old are you?
I'm 30.
You're 30 years old. There's a big reason I call Kevin back. Kevin's a great example of what's going away in our culture, in our society. And that's people who like to get dirty and get dirt. Now, no, there are kids out there that learn to garden and, you know, learn to plant things and have a good time with it. I understand that. But as far as passion-driven curiosity about growing with nature, being one with nature, there are relatively few kids out there, students, who get into that because it ain't on the menu.
Yeah, where do you learn it?
Where do you learn it if somebody does not show you or raise you with it and teaches you? Where? Well, Kevin here, for some reason, here he is, he's a nomad, and literally slept in his car how long?
About a year, one time, 6 months, another time. Yeah.
There you go. See, he's a real nomad. But you love planting.
Yeah.
And you're from Asheville, right? Born and raised?
Born in Northern California, but
That's right, and then you moved here real young.
Yeah,
you
about 7 or 8.
Moved into Asheville. How many siblings you got?
I have 2 brothers and then a sister.
What's your brother and sister? Can I ask what they're doing?
My brother David, he has a paint drywall company. My brother Daniel, he does
up in Asheville.
Yep.
Cool.
He does, and he has he has a daughter now, so that's cool. I've got my niece. And
Family's growing.
yeah, it's excellent.
Cool.
Daniel, he works at Blossman Gas.
He works what?
Gas. He does heating and gas.
Natural gas.
Natural gas. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yep. Casey, she is
So
just 10.
trades
She's turning 10.
guys.
Yeah, trades
Both
guys.
of them are
yeah,
in
yeah.
the trades.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're capable men. Yeah.
Good. And what's your sister doing?
She's 10, so she's living
She's
a
just
good
living her
life.
life,
Yeah.
being a kid.
Yep. Yep.
Your parents still with you?
Yep. Mom and dad both still alive. Yep. Yep.
Gotcha. Separated or
Yep.
together?
Separated. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I ask that a lot because broken families are a big factor in this culture we live today. Big time.
Yeah.
Not to pick on you, and I'm not.
Sure.
Please
Just
forgive
generally.
me. I mean no intent on that. But I'm dealing with a lot of kids here lately, and lately being over the past 5 to 7 years, I've directed a lot of my energy in teaching kids. And this broken family thing has really affected the kids in certain ways without fathers. I know your father's in your life, right?
I was raised by my dad. Yeah.
You were raised by your dad. Cool.
Unique.
That's awesome. Honorable. And so, all right, you got 2 trades people in your family. You got a drywall guy and then a guy working with natural gas, heating and cooling. Is that right? HVAC?
No, I think not so much HVAC. It's Blossman Gas, heating and gas.
Okay, just heating.
I think so. Then maybe they do HVAC.
Is it a propane?
I'm not so sure. Yeah.
Store.
Yeah.
That's what. But just based on what I'm hearing here, he works in the propane industry.
Yeah.
Cool. In rural America, because that's where you find. That's where you find propane.
Oh, gotcha.
See, propane's rural America.
Yeah.
You don't find natural
Just
gas.
like Hank Hill from King of the Hill.
That's right. That's right.
Propane accessories.
Leave it to Richard.
That's what I would
Bring
say
that
he does.
TV into here. King of the Hill, Mr. Propane guy. But propane's rural. If you can't get natural gas, what do? You get your big old tank in the backyard.
Gotcha.
Bury that rascal or put it up. But in the rural areas, you see the tanks.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how you know you're in the country.
I saw a guy that does diesel electric semi trucks, and he's doing a conversion kit for diesel electric pickups.
Yeah.
I wonder if there would be some kind of way where you could do a propane electric.
Yeah,
Sort of
sure there
generator.
is. Piedmont Natural Gas. P&G's got them. If anybody's got them, Piedmont's got them, because Piedmont Natural Gas is owned by Duke Energy. So, I mean, and they've got a fleet of trucks running on natural gas. I'm sure there's some hybrids out there that are running, that are both
Electric too.
electric
Yeah.
backed up with propane or vice versa, however you want to word that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love propane.
I see that as sort of a distributed power grid where you have. I mean, if it's a generator, it's basically a generator. It can drive the truck, or
Like
it can also power your whatever you need.
That's right.
Good.
Well,
high
that's the new
resilience.
technology in trucks anyway. They're putting receptacles and 110
Right.
plugs
Right.
and all that in
Yep.
new equipment anyway. Technology has really gone crazy as far as vehicles go. Actually, I'm going to do a little rant here. A little rant. It really bothers me or irks the hell out of me because, really irks me the fact that we can't buy basic in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't buy a pickup
Like a 2000
truck
Honda Civic or
unless you
whatever.
order it. You could go to dealership and buy a pickup truck with roll-up windows, a rubber mat in the floor. You can squirt that sucker out, and it's, a manual speed, 4-speed in the floor, or
Simple,
used to be.
reliable. There's not too much to break.
Yeah.
Cheap to repair.
Nothing computers, but now you can't. They don't offer that.
Yep.
But you go to Mexico, every car on the street practically is a 4-speed manual transmission. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
They got rubber mats in the front. They got roll-up windows. They're basic cars. Basic.
Those are the new ones that they make?
No, they're not new.
They're
I mean, that's
still
just
using
what I'm saying. General
they're
population
still using
has.
the Toyotas and the
We don't
Hondas
have
left
that.
over. Right.
You know why? Because they're forcing us to spend big bucks.
A lot of regulation. The
It
trucks
ain't
have
regulation,
to be,
it's money.
One specific regulation is that imported trucks there's a higher tax if it's a light truck. So the imported trucks are heavier. That's why the Tacomas are getting bigger, because there's a higher tax on the light.
Yeah, but
model
see, they're
trucks.
gouging us.
Yes,
Coming,
everywhere you
going,
go.
back,
Yep.
to, fro,
Yep.
and everywhere. I mean,
That goes for everything. It's not
Oh,
just
of course. It's horrible.
in every way of life.
It's horrible.
Yep.
What they're doing. I mean, I'd love to go buy a car, for example, with roll-up windows, without all the power windows and the power seats and all the electronics. I mean, but you can't, because cars today, the whole system's a computer.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep.
It just irks me that we can't buy basic anymore.
Me
We
too.
have to buy what they offer, and they don't offer basic.
Yep. And then there's restrictions, and then so the solution would be that someone starts a company that builds basic cars, but they're so
they won't let you.
stifled. Yeah, exactly.
They won't let you.
Yep.
No, they
Yep.
control it.
The lobbyists will pay so that you aren't allowed to make less than whatever.
I'm not going to get on a big rant because I could go crazy.
What we can do.
I am so fed the heck of being gouged.
Yep.
I'm fed up. And when they going to arrest people?
Yeah. Amen.
When people going to be held accountable? When? Talk. You know why? Because they're a member of the club, and we
not
ain't
invited.
in it.
Not invited to the table.
Nope. It's all about a club, and we ain't in it.
So then we have to make our own club, and it's
That's what I'm doing. Peace, love, and happiness. Live by truth and righteousness.
amen.
Seriously.
Yep. I agree.
Anyway.
But the only solution I see to that is to make the ground around you as bountiful and resilient as possible. The community around, whether that ground is your community or your soul or what have you.
I agree. A lot of people in this here city are city people, meaning they come home, they open the front door, they go in the house, it's cool. Oh boy, it's cool. The air conditioner's working today. And they shut the door and they don't see the front yard till in the morning. They go in your house, you hibernate in the house, but look at all the yard you have. Look at all the dirt you have. And here again, here's a 30-year-old young man that's lived his life. How'd you get dirty? How'd you start getting dirty?
High school horticulture really was my first focused training.
So you in the 10th grade, 9th grade, what grade did you
This
start
was
this?
probably maybe 11th.
11th grade.
Yeah.
So somebody introduced you to horticulture.
Yeah.
And
I had a
that's-
great teacher. I still will hear his advice when I propagate plants, and it was his foundation.
So that teacher really had an impact on you.
Yeah, definitely.
And there you go. There's a great example of a teacher making a big difference. We need more teachers like that,
Yeah.
that have an impact on these students. Well, welcome to Charlotte, where there are none of those. And when I say where there's none of
There's
those,
a few, but they're few and far between.
well, the sad part around all this is when we get great instructors and teachers, which you had, if they're not supported in the system, they leave.
They're going to do something else. Yeah,
They
this
leave.
Mr. Atherton, he had to work at Walmart. Just to, if you have to have a second job to be a teacher, you're going to just get a job where you can just have one. If you're capable enough.
Did he work at the garden center too?
He did. Yeah.
Cool, man. That's not
great.
cool that he had to have two jobs, but it's cool.
At least he found his a good niche. And,
Right, exactly.
So in high school, 11th grade, you started getting dirty. And when I say
we had some gardens and stuff growing up, and so just normal stuff. But the horticulture class really was what gave me the understanding of like how to identify a plant, the different parts of the plant, so you know what to look for, and the propagation and the business side of it as well. We had a plant sale, so that was very foundational. I could see how it was an economy, and it was also a very fulfilling. You get to go out in nature and create more life.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing,
and really understand life.
Yes.
Because life's real simple. It really is.
It is. As far as I see, sunlight powers the plants, and everything else eats the plants, whether it's the roots or the decay or it's amazing.
God made it wonderful.
Yeah.
With the bugs too.
Yes.
Bugs, man, bugs are good.
They are.
I love bugs.
They are. For every one pest, there's 100 beneficial insects as well.
Yep. And people tend to go out and buy all the chemicals and the sprays and the things to keep bugs at bay. Well, actually, if you've got a great garden, you can companion plant to control more insects and control more pests.
Yeah. Counterintuitively, the solution to a pest is more bugs, because you need the predators and the other bugs that will compete against it, eat its same food, and so when you poison, you kill all of the competition and the predators alongside the pests. If you don't poison and instead foster the predators, those control your pests.
And a chemical like Roundup, do I need to tell you? Don't use that mess.
It was originally, I think, used as a descaler, a tank descaler. So its sort of core function is to kill microbes.
Yeah.
And the microbes are what powers the soil and all of life. And
none of that, it affects your gut. Your
100%.
gut. Because
Cancerous.
they've overused it. They've saturated our whole food supply. And not only that, but then you've got scrotum, barium, and everything else coming down from the sky. You say, what's coming down from the sky? They're called chemtrails. And they're real. It's no conspiracy theory. It's real. And when they tested water coming off Rainier National Park, Rainier out in Washington State, guess what? The water's poison.
So that's glacier melt that should be fresh and pure, but it still has poisons and plastics in it. It should be the most pure
thing coming down, but it's not. It's contaminated. Mm-hmm. Don't talk about that a lot, do they?
Nope.
Well, this is the soil that you have in your backyard.
Yep.
Unfortunately. And it's true, folks. So what do you do about it? Know about it. So hopefully one day we collectively can do something about it.
Yeah.
Because we're being poisoned. Our food supply is absolutely toxic.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't want to be negative.
I'm not convinced, though, that that's one of the causes of the mental illness increases, all that messing with people's brain chemistry, because it gets in the groundwater, and then you take showers, and it gets in your scalp and then your brain, and then...
Mm-hmm. And you drink it.
And
think about all of the prescription drugs that are in the water supply because they don't filter out.
Your body filters out most of it, but not completely, and then you're urinating, gets back into the water supply, and it's.
I mean, a lot of it's the food too you eat, but I think some of it is contributed to the chemtrails.
And even the electromagnetic. That's everywhere.
The EMFs.
There's so much different frequencies and wavelengths.
Yeah.
And,
5G.
No question. And the name of this show is about your house, and we don't. It tends to be that nobody wants to talk about the realities of what we're really dealing with in this country. But these are environmental toxins that are affecting your health and well-being. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what are we doing today? We're going to tell you we're going to give you some hints on how, regardless of what the environment gives you, you can combat that with good methodologies in gardening.
Yeah. Soil is the best filter of water.
And hemp, for example, the hemp plant, cannabis, it filters toxins out of the dirt.
They use it in Chernobyl to accumulate those heavy metals.
Sure did. And that's another benefit to cannabis that they don't talk about, its natural quality of how it removes toxins and filters the dirt.
Mm-hmm. Industrial hemp should be a huge industry, not for the flower, but for the stalks.
Oh, for the
fibers,
byproduct. I mean, you know, I'm going to
seeds,
order
too.
some T-shirts. I'm going to order some
Hemp
T-shirts.
t-shirts?
Hemp T-shirts. Yeah, they're expensive, but
Only now because the industry isn't. But if there were the
of course, if there were the
economies of
resources,
scale, it
Sure.
would be cheap.
if we could develop not if.
When?
We could develop the resource,
Yep.
but they get it tied up because of the legalities of the cannabis industry and the THC content, and that combats the reality of the gift the plant really is.
Yeah, truly. North Carolina should lead the way in the industrial hemp, because we need to replace tobacco and cotton, and so or supplement at least, and hemp is the perfect solution to that, and it also offers food. You know, hemp seed has all of the essential amino acids.
Oh, sure.
It's excellent, and even for livestock feed or chicken
Well,
feed.
CBD, cannabidiol, which is CBD oil derived from cannabis, is a very
Potent medicine.
potent, very real medicine because of the endocannabinoid system that mammals always possess. We all have an endocannabinoid system, and CBD oil is very natural to our human body. And it's up until 1900s, it was the number one analgesic on the planet. And then but it's free. It's free.
One of the factors to why it was demonized, I heard, was that they had just come out with a better processing machine. And so now it would actually economically compete with paper and
Oh, absolutely.
cloth,
They
especially
don't
paper.
want it. You know, Rockefeller and all the
William Randolph Hearst was that one, I think, because he owned
Hearst.
all of the newspapers
Yeah.
and the forests that made the newspaper. So he was incentivized for paper,
in that. Yeah, exactly.
for wood paper.
Right. And when cannabis could be or hemp, let's call it hemp, because really,
I would say cannabis would be specifically the flower, as opposed to hemp would be more of the plant itself. Does that make sense?
exactly the product line.
the byproducts.
The byproducts and the products that could be very, very beneficial. Matter of fact, prior to 1900, all the sails for ships were made
And rope.
of hemp and rope.
Yep.
Oh,
And
had
the hemp
and clothes.
pants are the strongest, best canvas.
That's why I want T-shirts.
Yep. Durable, and the more you wash it, the softer it gets.
And I'm gonna throw a little sidebar here into, because of studies they've been able to do in the plastics industry. This shirt I have on has hormone.
Imbalancers.
Thank you. What's that word?
Or I just said imbalancers.
Yeah,
but I don't know, it could be wrong.
These affect
makes
your
sense.
hormones. You know, they imbalance your
The
hormones.
rayon and the nylon. and
Polyester, rayon, all the
yeah.
chemicals, plastics. They're hormone disruptors. There's the word I was looking for.
Hormone disruptors, yeah.
Yeah, it took me a minute. But hormone disruptors.
Well, and a lot of the
polyester.
a lot of the microplastics come from washing clothes.
Yep.
Because you wash off those little bit of fibers. And
Yep.
then also, what do you do when the clothes are stained or torn? You throw it away, and now it's just plastic in the dump.
Yep.
As opposed to a cotton or hemp shirt would decompose. You put it in the compost instead.
I agree. And you know, cotton lately, I love cotton shirts. They're durable.
Soft.
They last better, but they're just not the quality they used to be. That's why I'm going to hemp. I'm going to see. I'm going to order 3 hemp T-shirts. The only problem is they only come in black.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but anyway, we'll see. I'll give you feedback on hemp T-shirts.
Give us a review.
Yeah, I'm gonna order probably 6 of them. They're 3 for $100. 3 for $100. Expensive. Ooh.
That is a bit expensive, but if it lasts twice as long, so now you've gotten your money back, and if you could last 3 times as long, you've made money.
Well,
value.
I just want something that's going to be durable.
Yep.
You know, when you crawl under houses, when you go in attics and all of this, it makes a big difference. But let me take a little time here to talk about my beautiful, wonderful, wonderful sponsors. And I'm going to kind of embellish a little bit here today because they've been so darn good to us in supporting this here show called About Your House, heard every Saturday morning, 9 to 11 on Fox Sports Charlotte. Download the free app. You can stream it live anywhere. Broadcast every Saturday morning, Fox Sports Charlotte. That's right. And every Tuesday, 10 o'clock, 10 till noon, we broadcast live, stream live on Facebook Live, Facebook Live on About Your House Radio, and Put Tools in Schools channel or page, and YouTube Live, both About Your House Radio and Put Tools in Schools channel. Please subscribe, like it. You can ring the bell if you want to, or whatever you want to do there, but just subscribe. Help us out with the numbers. We don't do it for the numbers nor the money. We do it for information because we love you so much. We just want to share our knowledge here on the About Your House show. Every week, every Tuesday, live, right here. Brought to you by one of our sponsors, Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions. I want to say something about that. Internet seems to be the marketing vehicle most people use now in marketing their companies, and I've seen it just seems like this bountiful supply of foundation companies that are out there. Well, folks, I'm going to tell you something. They're not all equal. They're really not. To find a company that's transparent, that comes out there to give you a good job, focused solely on what your issues are, it's hard to come by these days. They tend to want to oversell you. Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions, 2 young men right out of college, wanted to open their own business and be transparent, be honest, and give customers what they should get the right way. That's Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions. You can go online, rhinoliftfoundations.com. Check them out. Whether it's your foundation, cracks around your doors, your windows, doors aren't shutting like they used to. You got a crawl space issue, invasive water. You want to get a crawl space encapsulation or question it. Whatever the case may be, they've got solutions. Slabs. Cracked slabs, sinking slabs. The quality of construction is not what it used to be. Unfortunately, it is not what it used to be, and repairs absolutely are necessary. Call Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions. Get them out there, free estimates. Licensed general contractor in North and South Carolina. Go online, rhinoliftfoundations.com. And speaking of crawl spaces, Kilo Exterminating Pest Control, been in business since 1939. 3 generations old. That's right, 3 generations. Still hanging in there strong. Great company, all technicians certified. Water moisture readings on all inspections. If you need that, not if you need, when you call an exterminating company, give Kilo Exterminating the opportunity to come out there and be your pest control company of choice. That's kilo.biz. Kilo.biz. ABS Insulating. Our guest next week, ABS Insulating in-house. Looking forward to that. Been a long time. ABS Insulating, been in Charlotte a long time. Family owned and operated for many, many years. Great resource to make you comfortable in your own home. That's right. Summer's on the way. Another couple weeks here and we got summer. Air conditioning's cranking up. ABS got solutions, be it air seal, open cell, closed cell foam, bad insulations, air seal programs to give you comfort you need and a low energy bill. And don't forget their gutter division. Gutters. They've got a whole division totally dedicated to gutters. Be it downspouts, be it barrel gutters, aluminum gutters, whatever the situation is, jumbo gutters. Water's your enemy. Deal with your gutters. If you've got issues, need maintenance, need new downspouts, gutter protection, absinsulating.com. And today's show, I got the Nomad in the house. That's right, Kevin Gath, Garden Nomad. We're talking about anything and everything. You know, who knows where we'll go. But we are going to talk about your yard. After all, it's your biggest investment, your real estate, your home, your yard. You've got a whole room or several in your yard right out your front door. But we don't use it as that. We come home, we shut the front door, forget about it. Forget about it. But there's a lot of possibilities. And I think you should just think about it. You know, if you bought a new house in Charlotte or have an older home and you need landscape work done, beautification, front yard, backyard, you know, I find that you can create spaces that give you paradise right in your own property. And I've given my story many times, but when I met my wife-to-be many years ago, back, actually it was the year 2001, I met her and went over one night to cook dinner and walked out in the backyard. I felt like I was in a fishbowl because I was on the corner lot. And everybody could see me, which I don't have a problem people seeing me. I had clothes on. I looked good and no problem. Everything's cool. But I didn't like looking out there and seeing everybody looking over there looking at, what you doing tonight? You know, so I said, we can make this yard into a paradise. I built a deck coming off the master bedroom and I put a door back there so I could walk right out on my deck from my master bedroom. I built a berm in the backyard. I built one whole side of my backyard property was a 8-foot tall lattice fence. You know, it wasn't giving me total seclusion, but it gave me privacy. Then I planted some Carolina jasmine and some Confederate jasmine on it. One on the right, one on the left. Well, the Confederate took it over. Whose phone might cut that phone off? Anyway, and I built this thing over, and I wanted some rhododendrons. Well, you know, you can't plant just rhododendrons anywhere in Charlotte and expect them to live, can you?
No.
They won't live. You know, you got to make them, but you can make microclimates in your landscape with lattice fences, with other shrubs, with other growth to create a shade and more of an understory effect for dogwoods, which dogwoods love understory, and rhododendrons, and azaleas for that matter. They love the acid in the clay soil, and you can make a microenvironment. Well, I planted 2 rhodies, a pink one and a white one, and they did great over there in that little microclimate.
Yep. Good organic matter and a little bit of shade in the afternoon.
Yeah, it worked. They're still thriving. They're still there. They're doing great.
And really, once they get established, it's a lot easier. It's those first few years that's the biggest.
Right. Once you get them established, I lost one. I planted 3, but I lost one. But the 2 that survived, man, they were just fantastic. Yeah. They really were. They great. Still, like I say, they're still growing great. And 3 crepe myrtles. Kevin brought a big stick in today. And and I asked him what kind of wood it was. He said a crepe.
Rhododendron.
Excuse me, rhodies. I apologize. It's rhododendron. And but I planted those 3 crepe Natchez crepe myrtles. I love me some crepe myrtles. And the beautiful thing about crepe myrtles is you can shape them, make them big trees, make them bushes, make them scrubs, make them whatever you want, just with pruning. So what I did, though, was create a beautiful, I put a pergola off the lattice fence, a pergola, you know, out and put a swing, a nice garden swing out there. What I did was create a beautiful amenity to my house.
Yeah. Something that invites you outside, so you don't want to stay inside all day. How inviting is a lawn? No kids play on the lawn anymore. And also, you have to poison and fertilize the lawn, and nobody wants to play on it anyway.
And you got to cut the dang thing
every week. It's ridiculous.
My backyard, when I finished, very little grass to mow. It took me less than 15 minutes to mow the yard. Yep. But yet the rest of the area was all plant. Now, let's talk about wildlife. Squirrels. How nuisance a squirrel can be, right?
Yes, but my thought would be that they're just doing their thing. You can't hate a squirrel for being a squirrel.
I love a squirrel. I had a squirrel named Jingles. We named him. He was Jingles, And my wife used to feed him a peanut butter toast, and she'd feed him Yeah. Feed Jingles.
How'd you know it was Jingles, though? Did he just come
he
up to the
stood
window?
there and looked up at the window every day until she recognized him, and she'd throw him a piece of toast with peanut butter on it, and he'd be right out there. And now here's what was I love bird feeders. I mean, come on, you gotta love some bird feeders.
Mixed feelings, but
I understand they can be a nuisance.
Well, so I would say that it imbalances.
I love this radio conversation. No, you get opinions.
Gotta. I mean, that's the only way to find the truth.
That's what's about.
The bird feeders imbalance the ecology because there are certain birds that will use the feeders more readily, and those birds will have extra babies as opposed to the other ones that don't use the feeders now don't have as many babies, and that imbalances. Now you have way too many robins, not enough of the other. Phoebes or whatever.
Way too many robins.
Or just as an example. Well, but
we got too many robins in this neighborhood.
Everything is about balance, right? Because if there's a carrying capacity of the land, and so
okay, but all right, if you like bird, a lot of people like bird feeders, and they don't count the robins.
So what I would say is plant your bird food instead of plant your bird food, because what are the birds eating but the seeds of the native plants? And caterpillars, they eat the leaves of the native plants. So if you have diverse native plants, the caterpillars and the seeds from those are your bird food.
Gotcha.
And also it's imbalance because there's this bird eats this thing, this bird eats the other thing, and so everyone can fill their niche.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah. Nice perspective on it. Well, but I had squirrels and I had bird feeders. And plus, when you have a wife and they want bird feeders, you put up bird feeders. Right?
I'm not anti-bird feeder. I'm just saying your first step should be to plant the bird food.
I agree. I agree with what you said.
And then you put a bird feeder at the window so they come to the window.
Yeah.
It's a snack. No, it's not a bird feeder. It's a bird snack. It shouldn't be their main food source. It should just be a treat.
You're making this real difficult, Kevin.
Not difficult. No, it's easier. It's much more difficult to fill up the bird feeder and clean it.
I agree.
Than it is to plant some echinacea and goldenrod.
You heard it. See, that's why he's here, telling you what to do about your bird feeder. Well, I had squirrels. Let me get back to my squirrel Jingles. He would get up in the bird feeder and go after the sunflower seeds because that's what they like. They don't like all them bird feed.
They spill all the rest of it.
Yeah, they just make a mess out of it, I walked out. I've told this story many times because it's a pretty good story. And do you think squirrels are dumb? No, they're not dumb. They know you think they're dumb and they play you is what they do. They're smart. They're smart. But anyway, I go out there and I say, Jingles, say his name. He looked at me, he stopped. He turned around and looked at me. I said, get off that bird feeder. It's a true story. Many times. I said, I'll feed you. Get off my dang bird feeder now, and I'll put you some seed out. So I picked 3 places in the backyard, and I put nothing but sunflower seeds. He left that bird feeder, and he didn't come back to that bird feeder.
Yep.
He didn't mess with it. And people say I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. No, that
forest wizard.
That squirrel knew it, man. He knew I'm gonna feed you. Get off my bird feeder. He didn't mess with bird feeder anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we were talking about how animals are smart, and they understand intention, and why would he go and sort through all this garbage bird food when there's a pile of seeds there? It's just
exactly. I'll make it easy for you, bro. Mm-hmm. I'll take care of you. Yep. Get off my bird feeder, and he did. Yep. See, he understood me.
I think creatures want to live in harmony. I mean, there's no mischief.
Actually, it is harmony. Mm-hmm. If we just let it be and quit messing with it.
Help things become what they are.
It's like, here again, I'll expound upon the backyard and what your yard could be or every yard could be. It became a lot of flowers, a lot of insects, bees,
butterflies.
Pollinating, butterflies. You had a butterfly bush over in the corner. It was gorgeous, big old butterfly bush. Butterflies loved it. And I've said this, my niece brought her 2 boys over one weekend. And when I said, y'all go out in the backyard and play. You like it out there. And more than 5 minutes, if 5, they come back in the house whining. Oh, there's bees out there. We're going to get stung. There's bees. Bees ain't gonna sting you. And talking to the mother of the two boys, they might get stung. They can't go out there. They won't get stung. Well, how do you know they won't get stung? Because there's love out there, and they know it. Ain't nobody ever been stung out there. Daniel goes out there and plays. I go out there. We don't get stung. Them bees love it out there. As long as there's love, bees ain't gonna sting you. Now there again, people call me crazy, but it's true.
It is true. Bees will sting in defense. Even wasps don't.
No.
A wasp will come up into your face just to see who you are. It's not aggressing you. It's just checking out the situation.
People can't deal with that. People are the problem, man.
Well, there's a lot of fear around. There's a lot of fear, and I think maybe even facing the wasp is a great.
Well, it's like the old carpenter bees. Come on, everybody's scared to death of the carpenter bees.
You're not a 2x4,
huh?
You're not a 2x4. What do you fear from a carpenter bee?
Yeah, or get a carpenter bee. Yeah, he got a little tool belt on.
They drill some holes, those carpenter bees.
Well,
they do,
but they won't hurt you.
Oh no. It's
They
just
will
gonna be
not
kind of a
hurt. They're
pain
They're a
sometimes.
little pesty, but they won't hurt you.
I have seen that hanging a fake wasp nest will deter the carpenter bees and also the wasps.
A hanging fake?
Hanging a fake wasp nest, yeah. Some people will use a paper bag.
Really?
Make a paper bag in the shape of a round wasp nest, yep.
To get rid of carpenter bees?
Deter them,
to
repel
deter
them.
them.
Yep.
Because, oh, no. Because wasps like sting carpenter bees?
Yeah, wasps are territorial. So then, yeah. I would also say that if you have some decaying logs around the edges, if you clean up all your decaying wood, now the only wood for the carpenter bees to eat is your deck. If you have some logs around the edges, branches, piles of, now the carpenter bees are more likely to go in there than in your house. They don't want to eat through the paint. They'd rather eat a decaying oak branch.
Well, I'll tell you this. We're entering the summer months. Everybody's, well, all you northern people who go barbecue. I love the way people from up north say, we're going to barbecue tonight.
Oh yeah, my friend says
We're
that.
gonna
I correct him
barbecue.
every time.
Yeah, wait, what is this barbecue? Well, anyway, when you go barbecue, be careful that wasps have not built a nest in your grill because they will sting you.
Yeah.
So be cautious this time of the year, for that first barbecue outside. It's cooking outside, okay?
You ever been stung by a hornet?
Yeah. I think
That
I've been.
ain't fun.
No, man, put you to your knees. I was at Raintree way back in the early 70s, and I opened the patio home door. It was vacant. I was going in there to do some work. I think he cocked his tail in and come down with a point, just gouged me. I mean, right in the shoulder. The old black hornet, it hurt. Yes, I've been.
It hurts like hell.
When you're a kid, did you walk barefooted?
Yeah.
Of course you did. You didn't walk barefooted.
I'd run around barefooted, yeah. Sometimes outside I would.
But everybody says, but you get stung by a bee. Yeah, many times. I've been stung by bees so many times I couldn't tell you. I think that builds up somewhat of an immunity in you too.
It does. Yeah. And I have been stung by a bee twice in the past 10 years of being outside in the flowers, and both times I was barefoot and stepped on it. So it's my fault. It's...
Yeah. Most
and it
people
didn't hurt. It goes away.
Yeah.
My brother got stung in the on his tongue one time. It got in his sandwich somehow, and he bit into it and stung him on his tongue.
Dang, that one I could.
That's brutal. That was like a freak accident.
I bet that hurt.
Karma. He must have done something.
That didn't shut him up. Made him a little noisy there for a little while. But back to my yard. You can create. What I tell people is look through magazines or look online, find things that interest you, and create those ideas in your mind and projects in your mind, and sketch them out. Sketch them out. Do you do that?
At this point, I can see how the plants will grow, so I don't do that much sketching. But it is very helpful to.
What I mean by just a basic layout plan to a yard. I'm not saying you're going to sketch it out totally.
I will do that sometimes. A lot of times, the customers would rather put that money toward plants than planning.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you're planning your own yard, I would do a sketch of like a perspective sketch of just the sort of shapes, not the specific plants, but the sort of shapes and balance. And then so you can find just a vague concept, and then you find the plants that match your climate and that would fit those shapes. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like I said, you can create your environment through planting.
Yes,
the proper
definitely.
plants.
Yeah. So say you want a little bit of shade here, you put something tall there, and then you look through the plants that match your site and say this is the one that would match that element.
Got it.
Because a lot of times people will go online and they'll see a picture of. They'll see a picture and want to copy that in their landscape. I would say you want the essence of that thing in your landscape, not the copy, because it might be some Japanese garden that has some invasives or something here. You can get the same look of that with the native plants. So you just find the look that you like. So, for example, burning bush has a nice red fall color, like 3-4 feet tall. But it is invasive and it takes over in the woods, and you'll see it in the woods. But the blueberries, for example, have the same red color in the fall, the same shape, but they're native and feed the caterpillars and the birds and you. So, yeah.
So you look into the nature, the element of content that plant provides.
Yeah, yeah. What service is it playing
What service
in the landscape?
does it render to your garden?
Yes, exactly.
It must have purpose.
Yeah.
And that's what you're saying here.
Yeah.
Now, you call yourself a shepherd.
Steward, landscape steward.
Steward.
Yeah.
Explain that to people.
So basically a steward is just someone who manages the resources and makes this landscape healthy. Instead of the poison and the chemical control, you use pest management. You use life to support more life.
So you use the plants and the insects, the natural growth to supply everything it needs.
Yes, fertility, pest management, weed suppression. Yeah. So why would you spray Roundup? It's to get rid of weeds. But to me, first of all, weeds are just a tool. They're a quick pioneering species that builds soil. So if you don't want weeds, all you have to do is cover your soil, because the weeds want bare soil.
Right.
So, and the best way to
Well, people are lazy too, though, Kevin.
So that's the plants do all the work. So once you put the plants in, they do their own work. If you can foster a plant community that nature has already proven,
right,
you just let it be. A little bit of maintenance, a little bit of just guidance here and there is all it takes. So for a meadow, for example, instead of a lawn, a lawn you have to mow 30 times a year. A meadow you mow once a year. Early in the spring, you reset it. That keeps the trees down. And then the meadow, the grasses and flowers just come and become exactly what they're trying to be. If you have you just pick your species that are maybe 2 feet tall, and then your meadow only gets 2 feet. You don't have to do any.
When you go to a possible client, customer, do you sit down and talk to them about what they want? How do you fly?
I will generally walk the property with the customer and tell them these are your conditions on this part, and these are the plants that would work well here. I might put something tall here, or a row of shrubs here. Basically, the design process is walking through with them, showing them the vision.
Well, I got to take care of my sponsors here. Let me do a little break here with Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Yeah, I know the name might fool you. You think, well, I don't live in Southeast Charlotte. You don't have to. You can live in Iredell County. You can live in any county, Gaston County, York County, you name it, they're going to come to you. Lake Norman, Mooresville, Kannapolis, Concord, Gastonia. It doesn't matter where you live, they'll bring the showroom to you. They make it easy, make it beyond easy. And as far as materials, product line, they've got you covered, be it carpet, engineered flooring, be it engineered flooring or oak sanded flooring, stair treads, new stair treads, carpet runners, custom carpets. They can handle that. Carpet, of course, LVP, LVT, LVP, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile. They got it, and they're going to bring it to you and show you they'll show you things you may not even considered, and the best and easiest way to handle any situation. So that's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Go online, check them out. yourflooringteam.com. And let's don't forget our go-to store, our Queen City home store. I'm going to try something new here. There we go. Online, shop by categories, appliance, furniture, mattresses, electronics, and grills. It is the season, folks. Go check them out. Any one of many, many stores now. They're located throughout the North and South Carolina. Furniture stores opening up across the Carolinas. That's the Queen City Home Store. Go online, check them out. Like I said, you can shop by category. Also shop by specials. You can see the best buys listed right there. They got you covered. That's queencityonline.com. Corporate number 704-391-6000. Give them a call. Check them out. That's queencityonline.com. And today's guest, Kevin Gath, the Garden Nomad. How'd you come up with that name?
Well, when I was living in my Jeep, I was tending a sort of market garden space, and so I was a gnome. I was a garden gnome, and I was nomadic. So
there you go.
Epiphany told me.
An epiphany told you.
Yeah, that was good. And now it's basically I'm still nomadic. I'll go around to different people's yards and act like a gnome. So I'm a nomadic garden gnome. Yeah, it's cool.
You like working alone?
Yes and no. The fellowship is such a powerful thing.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to talk to you about. You're 30 years old. You're young. You're just starting out. And I just talked with my son the other day, and we're talking about, and I've talked a lot about the ignorance in the industry right now. Like even with you. Your landscaping. That's going away. People aren't into gardening as much as
it's not a career that people are pursuing.
Yeah, it's not a career pathway that kids are being attuned to or even shown.
Exposed to, yeah.
And they have no idea of the concept about gardening. It's just like everything else. All these trades are going away because we're not teaching them. We're just not providing that basic
opportunity to learn.
The opportunity for kids to learn, and here we are.
So I see a solution to that in.
Tell me what you think.
In stewarding community landscapes. And so in every neighborhood, there's some unused corner that could be a nature park.
I agree.
That the community itself comes to tend. So,
but who's going to take responsibility? The problem. Who's going to take responsibility for that? Now you go around your car or truck and say, "Oh, there's a pretty corner. Let's get the community all involved." Nope. That's something that's missing too, and it's called leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership is missing.
The problem is everybody's going to be so busy.
Everybody's too busy.
I think
you just have to have somebody that's really passionate about it, and then
bingo.
That's what I'm saying.
Bingo.
Somebody like him that would want to lead it, that would make that a priority.
Exactly, and that's why I wanted to have you back, Kevin, because I look at you. I want to use you. I want to use you to teach kids. I want to use you to be the steward that you are. And this is what I'm telling you now, that you've got a responsibility to do that for the future of our country, for the future of humanity. That's what I'm doing with Put Tools in Schools. It's the same thing. If we don't provide this knowledge about growing, and pass it on, who's gonna?
It's lost.
It's going away. It won't be lost.
It has to be relearned again.
Yeah. And the problem is, the culture today is in the matrix. And what I mean by that, they've been trained to go spend money.
Yeah.
You can throw money at everything, but that's not the answer. Matter of fact, when you come to gardening, money's not the answer necessarily, because everything's provided by God in nature. And that's the beautiful thing about gardening. It's all there. Matter of fact, what's not there is what man has stripped and taken away and done harm with.
I think if humans have a role on this planet, it is to be stewards of the earth. I mean, there's no other higher purpose.
But they don't know how.
Yeah.
Because our education system
It's disconnected us from nature.
has disconnected another element of disconnecting us from nature.
Yeah.
When nature has all the answer, and it's free. It doesn't cost anything.
Yep.
Miracle Grow is harmful. It's chemicals put in dirt sold to you because you're lazy.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. You don't need that crap. Sorry.
And a lot of times it can be easier to do the natural way anyway.
Easy.
The mixing the chemicals and worrying about the poison and washing your hands is difficult. But I planted some black raspberries a couple years ago, and now I have black raspberries for breakfast every morning. That's easy. Trying to poison everything you don't want and keep everything you do that's difficult.
And then you go to the store and you buy food that you don't know. You just don't know. I went to the grocery store yesterday, and it's appalling to me, some of the crap they're trying to sell us. Just unbelievable.
It's not fresh. It's lost some of its nutrition. It's out of season and grown chemically, so it doesn't have all the things that it should have.
And it's overpriced.
And
It's
Just
crazy.
because they can.
Yeah. Because what are your other options?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, but you can grow food. Next hour, we're going to talk about growing your food, because it doesn't take a lot of space. The one thing you've got to have to eat is sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I would say sunlight is the only resource where there is competition.
Yeah. Resource and water. Those two things are most of your ingredients,
That's
right?
what you need, yeah.
Water, good water. Now, rain barrels. If you're think about gardening this summer and you haven't used rain barrels are very effective, especially when we have a drought like we have right now. Back, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, I was a big advocate about rain barrels. This yard I told you I had a big platform on the corner of my house where the rain barrel stayed up on that platform, and it was fed by a downspout, a chain, and I always had water to water my flowers and water things with. But that's rainwater. Plants know the difference between rainwater and city water.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
So if you've got a garden, if you have a garden, and thinking about summer ahead, how you going to water it? Well, rain barrel. Cheap, free, easily installed, and very effective.
Yeah, it is. What I like to do is use the earth as my rain barrel. So if you can soak the water into the ground, that water will still be available in the summer. So like where you built your berm, what somebody could do is dig a depression and berm up that soil, and now the water will pool in the depression, and you'll have dry at the top of the berm all the way down to wet at the bottom, and now you have all these microclimates. But slowing that water down, so a lot of people will send the water off of their property in pipes. You want to hold the water on your property in the ground.
That's something we're going to talk about next hour too, and that's water control.
Management. Yeah.
Water management. Yeah. Because if you manage your water correctly, you've got the whole area of your roof to start with. And where's that water going?
Usually straight to the drain. Wasted.
Exactly. So there's ways you can manage your moisture. But we're going to take a break here. I got about a minute left. Hour number one, I got Kevin Gath here. We're the garden nomad. Yeah, the little gnome man. See, he's a little gnome. But we're going to take a break here and come back next hour and talk more gardening. And who knows, I'm going to bring you up to date on Put Tools in Schools and what we're doing over here at the Toolbox, North Charlotte. We are planning a good summer. Hopefully it'll all come through. We need support from industry as we build a connective workshop. I visited Builders Bridge last week. I'm going to talk a little bit about that next hour as well. Builders Bridge is another, well, they're teaching young adults, and I think it's between 18 and 24 over there on the trades, electrical, drywall, carpentry, various trades. But next hour, coming up, more Kevin Gath here, right here on About Your House. Tune in. We'll be right back.